Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm trying out new equipment this morning, so I hope you all can hear me very well. Let me play my theme song. Woo! You already know we do this every single weekday for the most part. Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me know where you're from. I'm Madam President from Chicago, born and raised, inner city. West Side is the best side. Okay. All right. I got a few things that came up across the internet that I'm going to share with you all. And it's Friday. Yes, give yourself a round of applause for making it to the end of the week. Yeah, I haven't done any of that in a while. So there's a few ghetto things happening, of course, here in America. It is nonstop. First of all, I need you all to let me know where you're from and let me know if you can hear me because like I said, I'm using new equipment. I tested out last night by myself. William, what's up, my guy? What's up, my boy, my guy? How are you? Happy Friday. Glad to see you this morning. Yeah, America could be ghetto. I found some things. I'm like, come on now. And I can't wait to share with you all too, because of course, we have to be in awareness. This is one of the reasons I like doing my early morning readings, is because, having knowledge is having wealth. And no, as the kids say, no cap. When you don't have knowledge, you don't have wealth. Wealth is information. You lack wealth, you lack information. So the more you know, the more we grow. Really quickly, I'm going to say my morning prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for waking us up this morning. Thank you for allowing us to be on this side of earth. We appreciate you. Thank you for allowing us to get to Friday. You know everything that's happening in our lives. We just ask that you be a saving grace, dear God. All of our needs are met through you. We appreciate you. We asking for your continuous guidance, protection, peace, and love. In your name we pray. Amen. All right. We got to let that be known. Who are we without God? Who are we without the Most High? It's just, we're nothing. So that's just that. All right. So some of the things that I have going on, let me know where you're from. I know my guy William is from Alabama. Okay, but I believe residing in ATL, which means, William, we got to figure out how to connect, because if you're in ATL, then that means that we are not far from each other and we should be working together, because obviously I want Madam President to grow. And you obviously believe in Madam President because you are with your girl every day that we are live. So I appreciate you so much. That's number one. Number two, what's up, Alexis? Good to see you this morning. Yes, my girl Alexis from Memphis. Alexis is always with us too. Good morning. I should get some Madam President mugs in here. Maybe I can order some. You can go to a place like Vistaprint. You can go to some of these wholesale companies and order mugs, and they can get you some mugs delivered probably within a week. Sometimes it's not too pricey, but fragile, pay for that fragile shipment and all of that stuff. But we're going to move right along. What I wanted you all to know, we're talking about the housing crisis. People were talking about, now, anybody who's been working on with the Madam President, I talk about what's currently happening in the housing market all the time. I've talked about over 50,000 homes are owned by venture capitalist companies or companies, holding companies, LLCs, corporations in places like Atlanta and all over Georgia, Florida, as well as other places. I told you, I believe the big thing is these companies are going to own the properties, so that pretty soon you're going to be working for housing. So this is the perfect infrastructure so that they'll have the house and you'll be clocking in for room and board. Yes, this is what I believe. This is how the wealth stay wealthy. They always strategize, come together. Meanwhile, we constantly online fighting against each other. Hey, y'all, can y'all hear me? Because this mic is like, I don't know. I don't know if you all can hear me or not. Excuse me. I hate to be scratching my nose, and I'm going to be honest with you all. I can be in my, space, don't have a nose itch at all. As soon as I get on camera, my nose start itching. It's like you want these folks to feel like I'm snorting cocaine and stuff. And I just want to let you know I don't do drugs. I may have a cocktail once, one or two, but I don't do drugs. So I don't snort cocaine. Just for the record, okay? All right, just for the record, let it be clear, let it be known. All right, so let me just read to you what's going on with the current housing market. The median age of all home buyers is now 56. Now this is big. 56. Somebody put 56 in the chat. That's come on now. 56. I know my nanas feel like that ain't old, and I'm with you, Nana. That's not old, but 56 to just buy the property, that feels a little hard. That feels a little tough. But most of all, I will say those of us who did purchase homes in our 30s, let's just say, to God be the glory that we were able to purchase homes while we were fairly young. So let me read the article. Here's what it says right here. The median age of all home buyers is now 56, up from 31 in 1981. Folks used to think in 1981, I'm grown by 31. Folks say shit, I ain't grown to 56 here in America. A new report shows the median age of U.S. home buyers has jumped to 56 in 2024, up from 31 in 1981, rising home prices. 420,000 median. High mortgage rates and stagnant wages are pushing home ownership out of reach for younger adults. Baby boomers are, holding on until their homes longer, shrinking supply. That means none of them ain't giving up their house. Shit, most of us got to go stay with them. So they like, nah, I ain't giving up my house. Which makes sense because guess what? They also aren't retiring at the same rate. So come on, somebody. We got something happening here. Experts warn of a growing affordability crisis that's hitting millennials and Gen Z the hardest. Somebody say that they are owning the land they want us to rent. That's what is happening. They are buying up the land and they want us to rent it. That's really what is consistently happening. Yes, my grandfather, he did not own a home. All my years of being a little girl, my grandfather was renting, him and my grandmother. But guess what? He bought a house a few years ago. Old man. He was a veteran as well. So he got VA benefits and all of that. So it's never too late to buy. That's just first and foremost. I feel like some people get under this, I don't know, this feeling, this thought process that, oh, I'm too old to do certain things. And I don't believe in that. You're the perfect age to do everything that you want to do. You're the perfect age. Somebody put perfect age to do all things. Perfect age to do all things. All right. Speaking of perfect age, we got 4 people from Detroit. They are the perfect age to carry their ass to jail. Yes, unfortunately, this is what's happening here. These people, 4 employees for the U.S. Postal Service, they hitting up people's mail. That's a felony issue, okay? All right, so here's the story. If you can see it, put postal worker in the chat. Put fraud in the chat. Just keep it simple, fraud. 4 Detroit postal workers charged in $63 million mail theft and fraud conspiracy racket. $63 million mail fraud scheme rocks USPS, raises bigger concerns. 4 people in Michigan, including 2 U.S. Postal Service workers, are facing federal charges for a massive $63 million fraud case. The accused, Jay Sean Williams, Daquan Foreman, Vanessa Hargrove, and Crystal Jenkins. Are they black? Feel those names feel very much Afro American. Sorry, that's some of my humor. I don't know if you all get a chance to see it too frequently. Allegedly, they stole checks and valuables from the mail. Hargrove and Jenkins used their jobs at USPS to intercept items, while Williams and Foreman sold the stolen goods online. Somebody put dumb as hell in the chat. Somebody put dumb as hell in the chat. They're just dumb as hell in the chat. Because guess what? Damn! Y'all don't understand that you're black, number one. Number two, all they want to do is catch you doing what they think of you in the first place, and they're going to hammer your ass. They're going to hammer it. Hammer you. Now, the Chrisleys, they can do, 30, 300 million, 20 million in fraud, and they know the president of the United States. They're going to get out of jail. The Chrisleys, when they doing theft and when they doing fraud, they're going to get out of jail. You, no. Your mama got to watch your baby. You're going to be missing all types of stuff. You got to fight a felony on your record. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. You got a job. You got a job. You have a job. You are gainfully employed. Some of the stuff that we've been convincing ourselves that we need, we don't need. You're sacrificing your life just so you can do what? Go to the club, have some Gucci and shit, bull stuff that you don't need. You face up to 30 years in prison. For what? Y'all don't even take the money and go get property. You take the money and buy a bunch of nonsense, tracing it left and right. You got dumb folks selling it online. You don't know what you're doing. This story choking me up. I better find something else to talk about. All right, so here's what they say. Officials emphasizing this isn't just a white-collar crime. Real people were hurt. Stolen checks meant missed rent, unpaid bills, and disrupted lives. Whatever. This is what they do. They build the case around you, even through print. They try to write these words to over empathize. To basically over exaggerate theft. We get people steal all the time. I'm not condoning it. I don't agree with it, no matter what. But my point is, a lot of this shit, you get a check, you print a check, they don't cash it, or whatever the case is. Hey, give me another one. You sent the credit card, they don't get, send me another one. But when they print this stuff like this in the papers, they're using it as a way to basically vilify and say how wrong these people are. Oh, they're so wrong. This isn't just, officials say rent, unpaid bills. This is what the prosecutor is going to say. This is what the prosecutor is going to say. The prosecutor is not going to ask you, well, what's going on in your life? You taking care of other people's kids? Is your life affordable? What makes you steal? The prosecutor is not here to ask that question. The prosecutor is there to prosecute your ass. So when I read these kind of statements, the stolen checks, rent, missed rent, unpaid bills, and disrupted lives, I do understand, but a lot of times I also understand the prosecutor as well, the position of the prosecutor. They have a job to do. So how serious mail fraud is and how deeply it can affect everyday Americans. Can I just tell y'all something? Don't ever get caught in mail anything. It is a federal issue. You will have your ass so far away from home that it doesn't make any sense. People may try to minimize how mail things are, you got a man, he getting checks, you opening them checks and stuff. Hey, chill out. I'm giving you the real, because here's what's happening. They will send your ass to jail. They consider those kind of things very seriously. Mail fraud, okay? Mail fraud, theft, all of that is no light matter for America. Half the time, shit, we don't get our mail on time in the first place. But anyways, the rest of this says this case also comes at a tense time for USPS, which is under pressure from the Trump administration to be moved under the Department of Commerce, a move many see as a step toward privatization. The recent appointment of a former FedEx board member has raised even more concern. Postal worker unions are now protesting to protect USPS as a public service for all Americans. Absolutely right. Guess what? You getting mail left and right. They want you to pay for your mail. This man doesn't. No. See, here's the thing about Trump. He's a businessman. Their objective is to sit around. First of all, let me stop. I don't have no idolization towards Trump. I don't give a fuck about no businessman. He is not a businessman. Let me tell you what he is: an old rich white man who has an interest in money. Let me fix that. I don't like when people be on the internet talking about, oh, he a businessman. Slavery was a business, according to them. Prostitution is a business, according to them. Don't play with me. I want to get that right. I have to check myself. I can't just go around and saying things and then don't check myself. I am not idolizing anything about this man. Nothing. He's a man who going to challenge systems, take a look at systems, and figure out how to make more money. That means that even from the construct of the mail, if they can make money from delivering mail, then hey, good. Get it off my budget here at the White House, the federal side, and let somebody else deal with it. Moving right along. All right, so yeah, like I said, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't you feeling like you want to still open up people's mail, steal what's inside of it? Don't do that, baby. That's the quickest way to go to jail, real bad. And speaking of, this is a nurse who, we have to really talk about. Yeah, that's a good point. I just really want to say something really quickly. We have to talk about what social media is doing to the minds. I told you, I believe, first of all, don't forget, I feel like I'm not doing my job because I forgot to tell you all that this is brought to you by flynubianmoney.com. This is where you go when you want to grow. This is where you go when you want to get your money up. Do not forget, this is brought to you by flynubianmoney.com. Text Queens to 87948. Text Madam to 87948. Madam, MADAM, MADAM to 87948. You all should be purchasing the Madam, the Freedom Company. I got all new t-shirts. I got the new Malcolm X T 100 Years Supreme t-shirt. You already know, I'm a big Malcolm X fan. Period. I need to do some commercials that I can possibly just start playing when I'm versus me having to do this. I can just do a commercial. Or maybe I'll work on that this weekend. All right. All right. Don't forget to go to madampresident.com. All right. Madampresident.com. We do this every single week. Okay. So this lady, a nurse was fired. A nurse was fired for repeatedly doing her med pass while going live on TikTok, violating the HIPAA law. She told the people who warned her, just relax. So a lot of people are, fiending for content. You have people that are consistently trying to, I don't know if it's become famous or become popular. I know that for myself, I want to grow a community. I want to not work for anybody but myself. I want to have access to resources beyond, my own understanding. So one of the reasons I do it is because A, I love Black people. B, I love having critical thinking conversations. So this is one of the reasons I do it. So I
need patient information. So just relax.
So here's the issue. She had to apologize.
What I did was not right. I took accountability for my actions, and that's the only thing that I can do. Okay, so y'all just relax. Oh my God, why do y'all keep doing that? I'll lose my license if I'm showing patient information. I'm not any information. Just relax. I know what I did was not right. I took accountability for my actions, and that's the only thing that I can do. Okay, so
All
y'all
right,
just
so it says
relax.
a nurse was fired for repeatedly doing her mad pass while going live on TikTok, violating the HIPAA law. She told the people who warned her to just relax. Now, it looks like over here she was like doing medical stuff and, possibly, I don't know if she was showing patients info. It doesn't look like she's showing patients info. It just looks like a patient is near and she's doing, whatever it is that she has to do, check in, I don't know, vitals. I have no idea. But what happened is she was fired behind it. And I told you that your real life is more important than your online life. That means that your real life is more important than your online life. Your offline life is much more important. Please put offline life in the chat. If you are a person, you have a responsibility, you have a job, you should not be going live while you're at work if it's not permitted. Not to mention if it's illegal. You definitely shouldn't be going live. I'm telling you, you have to figure out how to gain focus. Going live in a minute, going live in the middle of your work life as a nurse, it doesn't really feel healthy. So one person said on here, they said, you know what? I went to the hospital recently and the number of nurses that had their phones out was ridiculous. Pretty soon they're going to ban cell phones in the hospital, especially with nurses. And I just want to say that she's a Black nurse. That means that, yeah, even if they could have just gave you a pass, they probably don't feel like it. I don't want to be that person. I do that. I do believe that people naturally sometimes don't give grace to Black people, don't give empathy, don't give sympathy. So in some cases, if she was a blonde hair, blue eyes, possibly, allegedly, this is not fact. She blonde hair, blue eyes. They could have said, hey, that's not okay. Don't do that anymore. All right. We're going to write you up. We're going to write you up. Okay, Sarah? And Sarah gets a write up. But Keisha is going to get her ass fired. So I'm letting all the Keishas know. Put that damn phone down. Okay? Put the phone down. Put the phone down. Do you need me to rap it? Because I can rap. Y'all didn't know that about me, but I can. But I won't do it today. All right. So I got a couple things that's going on. I'm going to do a 50% off for everything on my for the Madam President store. I just need for you all to put. I'm gonna have to create a code for you. I'm gonna do it today, starting at noon. If you go to the Madam President store, madampresident.com, I'm gonna turn everything 50% off. Whatever you purchase, it'll be 50% off. So I'm actually gonna do it all weekend. So feel free to come in, enjoy, read, decide what you like, connect with me. Everything will be 50% off. madampresident.com. Let me put that in the chat. madampresident.com. I hope everybody is feeling encouraged this week. I had a really rough week last week, and I'm feeling so much better this week in general. Just, intrinsic motivation. I believe that I have a lot of intrinsic motivation. I've always, I have a story in my book, Matters of the Heart, where I talk about like my father was killed and I went to school the next day. And I don't believe that that's automatically healthy. But what I do know is that I have the tendency to push through. You push through A, and B, I have a tendency to get out of the funk because things have to be taken care of. Now, where the hell I get that from at 10 years old, I do not know, but I will say that I'm grateful for having intrinsic motivation. So I don't have a lot of motivation for outside sources, but internally, I am naturally motivated to have a better today than yesterday. So, all right, it's been a good time with you all. I'm going to let you go and enjoy your weekend. Don't forget to shop with MadamPresident.com. Also, shop with the Freedom Company. I will see you on Monday. And I'm working on the podcast recordings now since I got my mic. I'm an official podcaster. You know, I was going to do a whole video with the mic. It's like not another podcast mic. All right, but I'm going to keep mine. Okay. All right, y'all have a good day. I'll see y'all Monday.